We have got some students hopefully joining us, but it's gone 2 o'clock, so we'll start and I'll introduce them at the end if that's all right. So good afternoon. We'll start the meeting. I'm Councillor Mick Barton. I'm the leader of the council. Obviously, I'd like to welcome you all. This is going to be broadcast live, and I'll move on to item 1, minutes of the last meeting held on June the 17th, 2025. Can I accept these minutes? Yeah. Can I have a show of hands, please? Thank you. If accepted. Apologies for absence. I've got Rory Green and Hannah John and John Doddy. They're all on other council business. Rory Green and Hannah John are at Warwick University doing an LGA programme, and John Doddy is at East Midlands Council's meeting. Kelvin Wright has given his apologies for other reasons. Declarations of interest, are there any? We'll move on to item 4, Nottingham and Nottinghamshire Local Nature Recovery Strategy. I will now hand over to Councillor Bert Migan, the Cabinet Member for Transport, to introduce this report. Oh, is he not here? No. Oh.
It won't be more than 30 seconds.
That's all right.
Here it is.
That was very well timed, James. I'll just introduce you a bit if you want to introduce your report. That's all right, please. We're on your item, sorry.
Okay. The report on the excuse me. Report on the public consultation. Get that out of the way. To report on the public consultation on the draft local nature recovery strategy for Nottinghamshire and Nottingham, and to present the final LNRS for Nottinghamshire and Nottingham in advance of being considered by Cabinet for approval. I just add actually that we did have the Place Select Committee this morning that have supported wholeheartedly this proposal, this document. We've inherited, I'm not going to read it all out, but we have inherited a position, a regulatory position, to adopt a document that's been in preparation for quite a few years. So I do thank the work that the officers and predecessors have put into that. It also establishes our green credentials, our environmental credentials, firmly going forward. And we'll feed also into the planning system where we've got the biodiversity net gain planning document. We're bringing forward probably next week now for adoption as well. The Environment Act 2021 established a requirement for use of LNRS strategies for areas within England, that these strategies should cover the whole of England. The core purpose of the LNRS, as defined by DEFRA, is to help reverse the ongoing decline of nature and biodiversity in England through coordinated, practical and focused efforts. The LNRS must be evidence-based, locally led and collaborative, and we have collaborated with authorities across the county in the preparation of this document. It must be published and publicly available. Nottinghamshire County Council was formally appointed as the responsible authority for preparing, publishing, reviewing and republishing the LNRS for Nottinghamshire and Nottingham by the Secretary of State for DEFRA on the 26th of June 2023. The supporting authorities comprises 7 district and borough councils, the City Council, the East Midlands Combined County Authority and Natural England. Considerable stakeholder engagement has been carried out this year. It sets priorities and measures for nature recovery in the county and identified areas to map the proposed measures. I don't think there's, I could list the details of the consultation responses, but they are all set out in the report. And the final local habitat map shows the existing areas of particular importance for biodiversity, which cover existing designated sites of national and local importance. The proposed measures for different habitats and species and the areas that could become of particular importance for biodiversity, ACBs, they're called. Proposed final version of the LNRS must be sent to the supporting authorities before publication. Supporting authorities have 28 days to raise an objection, which will be referred to the Secretary of State. I don't see that being an issue, as everybody's been consulted and agreed on the document. A copy for information must also be provided to the 4 neighbouring responsible authorities of Derbyshire, Leicestershire, Lincolnshire and South Yorkshire mayoral combined authorities, anticipated to run from the 22nd of September to the 21st of October. If no objections are received, County Council will then inform the Secretary of State of intention to publish on the date 14 days from the notification date. No other options were considered. The reasons for recommendations: the responsible authority and supporting authorities have roles that are prescribed in the legislation, regulation and guidance. The responsible authority and supporting authorities need to be aware of the decision-making processes, stakeholder engagement and key milestones. The LNRS seeks to achieve multiple environmental benefits for the residents of Nottinghamshire and Nottingham, including improved access to green space, environmental resilience and improved water and air quality. The cost of preparing the LNRS for Nottinghamshire and Nottingham, including direct LNRS staffing and consultancy costs, are covered by the Section 31 grant from the Department of Environment, Food and Rural Affairs. There are also significant in-kind contributions of staff time and expertise from both the County Council and key partners. We ask that the Cabinet is asked to note the key milestones that need to be achieved prior to formal publication of the local nature recovery strategy for Nottinghamshire and Nottingham. Consider and comment on the progress which we did this morning, and the recommendation is that we adopt the LNRS.
Lovely. That's a formal recommendation.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'll now move on. We've got some speakers. If I could just clarify, I know there's been some papers move around today that's we've agreed to take statements from fellow councillors, and it is statements, not questions. So I would like to invite Councillor Barlow, please.
Thank you, Chair, for allowing me to speak this afternoon. I just wanted to sort of confirm that obviously the local habitat map identifies areas that could become of particular importance for biodiversity, and exactly how will you ensure that these identified spaces are protected, and what specific biodiversity net gain targets are being adopted locally, and more importantly, how will they be monitored and enforced? Obviously, there is an online mapping tool that's going to be provided for transparency. However, questions remain on how this translates into enforceable planning protections. So will the local plan and planning frameworks integrate these map sites fully to prevent loss of biodiversity through exceptions? And obviously, we are concerned, like you say, that future development pressures from housing, infrastructure, solar farms could, absolutely implode on this. So we would ask Reform to confirm that they would be looked into and considered in future.
I'm sure we can do that. On this occasion, I'll let Bert's nodding at me. Bert, do you just want to comment on that?
Thank you for that, Councillor Barlow. As you know, we have been consulting on solar farms, and I'll be happy to come back to you outside this Cabinet with the responses to your questions.
Thank you. Are there any other comments?
Yeah.
Councillor Martin Wright.
Thank you, Chairman. Just one question for you. It's about the consultation, which is all about the consultation. Mansfield is the largest town conurbation outside the city, yet there was no in-person consultation conducted in Mansfield. I don't know if you know of Spar Ponds near Forest Town. It's a nature reserve owned and funded by the Forest Town Nature Conservation Group, who have a big say in local conservation related matters in Mansfield. But as I say, according to this report, there was no consultation taken in Mansfield in person. Have you any idea why that was?
I don't know, and I'll come back to you outside of the cabinet meeting.
Lovely.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor. Thank you, Councillor Bean. We will now move to the vote as the recommendations on page 11. Can I have a show of hands, please, if you all agree with those? That's unanimous. Thank you. Item 5, Retender of the Adaptation and Adaptation Service. I'd like to bring Councillor Barry Answer in to bring forward his report.
Thank you, Chairman. This report seeks Cabinet approval to commence the tender process for Anti-Person Adoption Services HPAS, delegate the authority to the Service Director, Strategy Commissioning and Integration to award the contract and make any decision relating to the extension of the relevant contract in due course. Anti-Persons Adaptation Service supports older and disabled residents across Nottinghamshire to live safely and independently at home. The service provides free or low-cost minor adaptations and practical jobs, helping to prevent and reduce or delay the need for more intensive care and support in line with the Council's duties under the Care Act 2014 to prevent, reduce and delay the need for care and support and to provide minor adaptation costs less than £1,000 for free. Over the past 3 years, HPAS has completed 7,460 jobs, including 2,432 hospital discharge jobs, demonstrating its effectiveness in reducing falls, improving home safety and facilitating quick hospital discharges. This service is funded through the Disabled Funds Grant, DFG, with a current annual budget of £882,000. A comprehensive service review was conducted between August 24 and January 25, involving feedback from people who use the service, traders and other stakeholders. The review found a high level of satisfaction among both services users and traders. The recommendation is to continue with the current service model due to the effectiveness and the positive feedback it received. The new contract will begin in April in 26 for an initial 2 years term with an option to extend for up to 2 more years. I formally move the recommendation which are on page 7 of this report.
Thank you, Councillor Answer. Can I invite Councillor Wheeler, please?
Thank you, Chairman. So, first of all, I completely agree with the retendering the HVAS service, which plays a crucial role in supporting the work to allow residents to stay in their homes for longer. Not only does this save the council money, we all know the majority of residents want to stay in their homes for as long as possible, and we should support this. As touched upon briefly in point 10 on page 130, we have some borough and district councils who have spent their DFG grant allocation and still have demand they need extra financial support for. And we also have some councils who are holding on to underspend the grant and not spend it as we would like them to on supporting the DFG work. As an example, Rushy Borough Council has put in £500,000 extra in recent years into the DFG fund to meet their demand. I know other councils have put in extra funding as well. When I was Cabinet Member for Adult Social Care, I wrote a letter to the government calling for the DFG funding model to be changed so that we do not have a postcode lottery and put the funding where the demand is. I did get a reply from the Minister noting my recommendation for review, and I'm pleased that the government are now open a consultation on changing the funding model. I therefore hope the Cabinet Member and the whole Cabinet ensure a response is made to the consultation to government and call for more flexibility for this council to allocate the funding to districts and boroughs on a demand basis, ensure the money is spent and not left in a bank account. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Wheeler. Are there any views or comments from Cabinet members? No?
Chairman, yes.
Sorry, have you got?
It is a quick question for the portfolio. The spend on the service council. With more people growing older, and obviously the service will be demanded more. What is the budget for it? Is it the same as last year, or is it less? Or less? We didn't spend it all, did we?
The budget is the same as last year.
Yeah.
It is.
Proposed budget is the same as last year.
Thank you.
Right, go on. Can we move to the vote, please, everybody? Everybody in favour? It's unanimous. Thank you. Item 6, respond to the outcomes of the review of recruitment and retention within Nottinghamshire's County Council Fostering Service. With Councillor Rory Green being absent, I'll be taking his report. He has written me well, not say a brief letter, but he's asked me a letter he can read out on his behalf, so I shall do that. Colleagues and everybody at this Cabinet meeting, I sincerely apologise for not making today's Cabinet. I'm at the Local Government Association training programme today with the specific statutory duties for children and families. I am pleased to bring forward this report, which sets out our response to the recent scrutiny review on fostering recruitment and retention. I am proud to say that the department has accepted all 7 recommendations in full. Notably, I want to thank each person of the Children and Family Select Committee for their attention to detail back in March. Furthermore, I want to thank Amanda Collison, Jenny Whiston for their leadership, and as well as Matt Wesson, the service manager, for working tirelessly to improve the services, as well as our very productive recent meetings. Our fostering service is at the heart of providing safe, stable and loving home for the children who need them. But we know recruitment and retention of foster carers is a challenge for everyone, both here and nationally. This review has given us a valuable opportunity to reflect, to listen and to strengthen the way we support our carers. The report outlines a comprehensive programme of actions. Let me just highlight a few. We will continue to raise the awareness of fostering across the county with large-scale marketing campaigns and new partnerships with major employers to reach more potential carers. We're improving the benefits package for carers, for foster carers. Allowances have increased by 3.55% for 2025-2026, and we have made payments such as birthdays and holidays automatic. We also have recognition schemes and milestones we also have recognition schemes for milestones, referral awards, or exploring the pension and health insurance options to support carers. We are in active discussions with the district and borough councils about council tax reductions for foster carers. Similarly, we have arrangements already in place for care leavers. Leisure concessions are being considered, recognising the valuable role that foster families play. Our own workforce policies are evolving to a revised HR policy with better support for employees and foster and kinship carers. We are working with all our partners in an embedded approach across the region. On our technology front, I thoroughly scrutinise particular cost concerns in relation to rolling out laptops or tablets for foster carers. They are secure systems, providing secure corporate email addresses and exploring the development of a dedicated portal or app. This will help foster carers feel fully part of our professional team and make communication much smoother. Furthermore, the children's personal data is securely stored indefinitely, which will be cost effective compared with any potential ICO breaches. We are also making sure we recognise and celebrate our foster carers properly through events, conferences and ongoing engagement. Finally, we are collaborating closely with our neighbours in Derby, Derbyshire, Nottingham City through the D2N2 Foster and East Midlands Councils initiative by working together and sharing best practices. We will strengthen foster services across the region. Importantly, there are no direct financial implications from today's decisions. Any future costs will be carefully assessed and brought back to the Cabinet for consideration. In the meantime, I will be actively managing within the existing children and families portfolio budget. Cabinet, I believe this is a strong and positive response. It demonstrates that we are listening to carers, taking action and ensuring that our children get the care and the best support they deserve. I commend the report to you and ask the Cabinet to endorse the recommendations. Thank you, Rory. I would now like to invite Sue Saddington, please. I do apologise, Councillor Sue Saddington. I've got a dry mouth, sorry. I do apologise.
No problem. Right, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for allowing me to speak on this agenda item. First of all, I must compliment those people who were on the committee way back in the early spring for bringing out this report. It is extremely comprehensive. A lot of work has been given to it. I can't claim anything because I wasn't on the committee, but I think they have left us here with food for thought. I would like to really ask you how you as the administration plan to budget for the fostering recruitment and retention beyond 2026 when the government funding ceases. And it's unfortunate that Councillor Green and Councillor Hannah John are not here today because this is really directed to them. But we are all corporate parents of this authority, and therefore we are all answerable to these questions. So I would like to know whether you have budgeted, and there are a couple of things which have drawn to my attention, which is the suggested pension and the suggested healthcare. Now, these are both unknown quantities as far as I can see, because somebody could take on a foster care position, pay into a pension and decide to go after 2 years. So what would happen to the pension? And also, private healthcare has no ending. It really doesn't. The older you get, the higher the cost. And it is high, believe me. So I have a concern about that because I wonder if you've costed it. You know, you've come forward this today with all these various add-ons to being a foster carer. But in my opinion, a foster carer should be a foster carer because they want to do the job, not because there's a pension dangling, not because there's private healthcare dangling. Yes, paid for Christmas holidays and all that, that's normal. But those other two things do worry me somewhat. And I think if they were to be adopted, then a full business case wants to be brought forward to the committee for the committee to have a proper look at it and see how it will work. Because to me, they have both no ending. You know, they're not easy to cost out. Another point that one could look at is a welcome package to a foster parent when they come in, a sum of money perhaps as a welcome. And if they choose to spend it on a pension or if they choose to spend it on the child, but it is theirs for the first time. And I do have concerns, and I realise it was cross-party. I realise that a lot of people in this room weren't involved in it, but I think before you embark on something that really has no ending, you need to produce a business case with a view to what will happen in the future, because the county obviously doesn't have endless cash and it could run away with us. And I personally believe people should be foster parents because they want to give the children a good home, not because they see pensions dangling and they see healthcare. So that is really what I'm asking.
Well, just to let you know, Councillor Saddington, obviously they're not here today, but we're not taking questions, but all your comments have been noted, and I shall make sure that both the portfolio holders get them notes.
Yeah.
Is that right?
And that they take it forward for the future. Otherwise, this could sit on a shelf and gather dust.
It won't sit on a shelf and gather dust, I can assure you.
Well, then if it's going to be put into action, it needs to be costed.
Thank you for your comments.
Okay, thank you.
Are there any views or comments from Cabinet members? No? Can I put that to the vote then, please? With a show of hands. That's unanimous. Thank you. Item 7, highway and fleet service depots capital improvements. I would like to hand over to James Walker Gurley to produce his report.
Thank you, Mick. The purpose of this report is to seek Cabinet approval to fund 4.68 million of capital improvement works to a number of depots that are occupied and operated by Via East Midlands, our highways and fleet services partner, which is a wholly owned subsidiary of the County Council. Via's contract with the County Council runs until July 2031. Under this agreement, the County Council is responsible for providing and maintaining the depots and offices required for service delivery. Unfortunately, aside from limited maintenance, the Council has made no significant investment in its depot facilities since 2012, when the number of depots county-wide was consolidated around the central Bilsthorpe depot. It has been identified that 3 depots at Gampston, Newark and Blythe require significant investment to replace derelict buildings and to address security, safety and welfare risks at those sites, which will improve the working conditions of staff based at those locations. In addition to this, further investment is needed to establish a new depot in West Nottinghamshire following Ashfield District Council's request for Via to vacate the shared depot in Sutton in Ashfield. As part of the evaluation of the required works and improvements, the plans for future County Council service delivery requirements have been considered in line with local government reorganisation. These proposals considered both Via County Council sites and those operated by district and borough councils, including their location, access utilisation, capacity and the services they provide. Full details of these assessments can be found with the appendices. We have photographs which demonstrate the current condition of these sites, along with detailed costings of the proposed improvements, and it is clear that these improvements are essential regardless of any future changes to the local government structure, and they fully support the anticipated growth in service delivery as Via operates within the expanded framework of the East Midlands Combined County Authority. Although the provision and maintenance of highways depots remains a responsibility of the County Council, it is proposed that the County Council provide capital funding for the outlined proposals in the form of a loan to Via East Midlands Limited. Via would then repay the loan over future years on terms as agreed with the County Council. I therefore recommend that Cabinet approves to fund the identified 4.68 million of capital improvement, and that the Section 151 officer, in conjunction with the Executive Director of Place or his nominee, agrees the terms and conditions of the loan agreement with Via East Midlands Limited.
Thank you. Can I invite Councillor Clark, please, to join us?
Thanks, Chairman, and I appreciate the opportunity to speak on this in relation to the depots. And in making the comments, I suppose I'm bringing sort of 2 main thoughts forward. And the proposals talk about 3/4 of the cost being loaned to Via, and the other quarter being paid by the council. So it makes me wonder, then will that loan actually affect any of the other services that are being supplied by Via? Is there any impact on service delivery at all? And I don't think the report makes mention of the actual timescale of the loan, which would be interesting to know. In paragraph 11 on page 172, the third bullet point makes reference to the nearby household waste sites, and I'm fully in support of these depots being refurbished, and quite rightly they are in need of that refurbishment. But the recycling household recycling centre is mentioned, but the potential sites, and that was very much part of the thinking in the previous administration, and anxious to bring that forward. So it makes me think that this would be far better and be more efficient. I'm quite sure Councillor Matthews would actually be fully in favour of efficiency and saving on costs by actually amalgamating this together and developing that household waste site in conjunction with the refurbishment of the highways depot, because of course that will use the same plant and equipment, etc. So those are my two main thoughts, which I hope will be addressed during the debate. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Clark, and I'm sure the portfolio holder will address those outside this meeting. Is that right?
And within it as well.
Thank you for your comments, Councillor Clark. I'm happy to discuss with you outside the meeting. Thank you.
Are there any views from Cabinet members? Councillor.
Could you outline the strategic case for investing in Gamston Depot as part of our future service delivery model, please?
Thank you, Councillor Bingham. The Gamston Depot is a strategically located 4-acre site critical to delivering highway services across the south of the county, especially following the withdrawal from Ashfield's north of the county. Especially following the withdrawal from Ashfield's Western Depot. Its position on the A52 A6011 makes it ideal for future expansion, including potential co-location of public transport operations and support for the nearby waste site. The depot's long-term role has been considered in the context of local government reorganisation, with opportunities for collaboration nearby, including Rushcliffe's Bingham Depot and Nottingham City's Eastcroft facility. Investment will enhance the working environment, increase Fire's operational presence, and ensure the depot continues to meet evolving service delivery needs. Thank you.
Anything else? No? We can put that to the vote then, please. It's unanimous. Thank you. Before I close the meeting, I'd like to invite, we've got some Roosevelt scholars, that's right, did I pronounce it right?
Yeah.
You want to just introduce yourself, because you spend the rest of the day with us, aren't you? You've been here all day, haven't you?
Yeah.
I don't want to put you on the spot, but if you want to introduce yourself, that'd be really nice.
Yeah, I'm Catherine Rees. I work for Imara, which is a child sexual abuse and domestic abuse charity in the City and County. So I'm going to be looking at the US responses to child sexual abuse and how they work in partnership with the organisations around vulnerable families, so social care, medical, substance use, homelessness, all of that. And I'll be leaving 3 weeks today to go to America.
Okay,
Hi, I'm Ellie Manning. I'm a past scholar. I was a scholar in 2022, and my project focused on lived experience peer support workers in the mental health service, and I visited organisations of best practice that were lived experience led.
I'm Benjamin Kay. I'm director of an inner city festival called Art Fest. We're currently painting the Victoria Centre. If anybody's seen that anywhere, that's us doing that. And we're running a festival not this Saturday, Saturday afterwards. I'm going to America to look at how public art can make us feel better about the city we live in.
Well, good luck with your travels and welcome to the County Council. Thank you. That's the meeting closed, everybody. Thank you.